Peace, what's up, everybody? This is J.A. Everyday, also known as Furious Styles. And today this post is going to be called The Hypocrisy of Bill Maher. Okay, let me start by saying the dude Bill Maher, he do have some good guests on his show, but every once in a while he will have somebody on there that calls him on his bullshit, or who doesn't just laugh and let the slick shit that he says go away. So this show comes on every Friday night on HBO. But basically, he had this guy on his show named Ross Douthat. Ross Douthat is an author and a writer for the New York Times, and he wrote, a pretty revealing piece about Hugh Hefner. And you can just tell from the energy that Bill Maher was giving him that he didn't like the article. And basically what the guy was saying in the article is, everybody got all this shit to say about Bill Cosby, but Bill Cosby and Hugh Hefner was best friends. And Hugh Hefner was right there at these parties with Bill Cosby, and they were both supplying people with these drugs. And he basically called Hugh Hefner the father of modern pornography and plastic surgery, and he was basically what I like to call a progenitor of misogyny. Now, why Bill Maher had an issue with it is because he felt like it was character assassination for his friend. So he kept going back and forth with the guy, and he basically ended the article by saying, "I'm right and you're wrong, and that's it. Just like, fuck you." He basically said fuck you without saying fuck you. Now, it was kind of weird when I saw the interview, but I had to think for a moment, and before I made an opinion, I read the article that dude wrote. And dude made some very, very good points. Hugh Hefner had a couple of trials. Hugh Hefner was, he had to deal with some drug shit. And everybody knows, them Playboy parties were just orgies with drugs and all types of other shit. And so what killed me really was, Bill Maher let a number of people come on there and talk shit about Bill Cosby, and he either agreed with it or he championed whatever they were saying. He's made jokes at Bill Cosby's expense. He's talked a lot of shit about Bill Cosby. My problem is, and why I say he's a hypocrite, because where's that same energy for Harvey Weinstein? Where's that same energy at for Kevin Spacey? Where's that same energy at for Russell Simmons? See, I hear everybody talking all that shit about Bill Cosby, but all of these other supposed so-called rapists and pedophiles and sexual deviants, as everybody likes to call Cosby, I don't hear none of y'all talking shit about, well, I don't hear him talking shit about them. Where's your Charlie Sheen jokes at? And, you know, for everybody who think that this has something to do with race or creed or anything like that, nah, I'm saying give that same fucking energy to everybody. Don't be partial in how you do it. Because see, I know you and Russell Simmons are friends because you've said it before on your show. And see, Bill Maher, he does this shit with a lot of different topics. See, he calls conservatives out on their shit, but he never does the same thing for liberals. He castigates and puts down other people. He puts down Christians. He puts down Muslims and their religion and talk about how stupid it is. But you never hear him say anything about Judaism. You never hear him say anything about Judaism. Why is that? And this isn't me taking a shot at Judaism or me taking a shot at any religion. But I'm saying apply that same energy across the board to everybody. But see, what you're not going to see is him do that shit. Because it's not convenient. It's not the low-hanging fruit. What you'll come to find and what you'll come to see, especially in this framework, and how they try and mind fuck you, is that they'll always go for the low-hanging fruit, the easy targets. These media whores and people on these platforms. See, it's easy to take shots at Chris Brown and Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson and R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. But see, you never call everybody out on their bullshit the way you always seem to do with those issues. See, you kick that atheism shit, but you don't spread it around to everybody. I'm gonna have to look at his movie Religulous, because I want to hear him go up to them Jews and talk that shit that you be talking. Talk that greasy shit that you talk about Muslims and Christians. That's how you know he either doesn't believe the shit that he says, or he says certain shit because he knows that's a safe target. That's an easy target to hit. See, he's not going to have anybody on that's going to combat him or call him on his bullshit. Just like if you notice, none of these shows do. Nobody's going to have somebody on their TV show or on their platform that's going to question or call into question anything on their platform. 'Cause see, that's too much work. No, now you have to sit up here and defend your shit. See, you'll have The View, and you'll have someone on The View that's either hated, or you'll have somebody on there that it's easy for the 4 women to beat up or gang up on. Or you'll have somebody on there who say they're conservative, but you don't really have a conservative viewpoint. And just so everybody understands, and I'll make this point perfectly clear, I'm neither conservative or liberal, Democrat or Republican. I'm not progressive or libertarian. I think politics is bullshit, and it's just another mind fuck that the framework uses to control people and to create narratives of whatever they're trying to sell, or whatever bullshit they want to distribute to the people. But the reason why I tell you that the majority of this shit is bullshit is because I don't agree with a lot of this shit that this dude says. This guy named Ben Shapiro. He says a lot of slick shit, a lot of shit that I don't really care for. But nobody ever calls him or asks him to be on their show. He goes on some conservative shows, but even conservative shows don't really have him on their show. And see, and the reason is because he's not some wild-eyed, cockamamie conservative. What he does is he has a certain perspective or view, and he has the data and the proof to back it up. So if you go into a debate or argument with him, you're either going to try and yell over him, or you're going to try and make him seem like, oh, your shit is out of mainstream touch. And if you think I'm bullshitting, go on YouTube and pull up Ben Shapiro interviews and see how many times he's been on mainstream TV. And like I said, this isn't me advocating for one over the other, or for me taking up for anybody's cause. It's just, you know, you talk that shit, but you only want to have one viewpoint to support your belief system. You never have anybody up there to challenge your thoughts or to challenge any of the shit that you say. And even me myself, I've had to go back and examine certain shit that I believed and certain shit that I thought because this groupthink and this liberal mindset is so pervasive now. Anything you say contrary to popular belief, you're going to get excoriated for it. I don't have a better word for it than that, but that's just what's going to happen. And you can see this in so many cases. You just seen the shit with Kanye West. I've already spoken about Kanye West, so I'm not going to go into that again. But anybody that challenges popular thought, anybody that disagrees or has a difference of opinion rather than the two main viewpoints, it's like, oh, fuck you. And just so we not getting it twisted, it's done on the other side too. Conservatives are just as big hypocrites too. So with that being said, that's my take on the hypocrisy of Bill Maher. I didn't really want to do no big or long drawn out discussion about it because, number one, it's not that big a deal, and number two, it is not nothing that's going to change the world or make a difference in anybody's eyes. The reason I chose him, and I can give you a number of other examples of it, is because you can see this narrative playing out. And this shit is disgusting, to be honest with you. You got a bunch of people out here who try and promote this shit like, oh, it's free thought, and oh, everybody's entitled to their opinion. And that while that's true, you know, you want to have these people who have these debate shows and all of that shit, and it's not really a debate if you only have one point of view. If you only discuss one part of the issue, but you don't talk about the entire cause of it, then it's irrelevant. That bullshit you talk means nothing. So with that being said, this is Jay Every Day, and I'm out.